Stephen? Robin, do you want to?
Do you have any questions about the report? Yep. We're getting our sponsors built up. This is the last year that I can pay the police out of the police festival fund that was still in there from when we had a police department,
Okay.
which is not that big of a deal. That'll just come out of regular festival next year.
Do you have an idea of what that amount would be out of next festivals?
$10,000.
10,000?
Okay.
Oh, gullible me, I bid on that one.
You've never been told.
Yeah.
It's 2,700.
Okay. Good try.
No, it's a blank. They
Yeah.
don't get paid.
Yeah.
They don't get paid. There's nothing there.
Well, that's why it's blank though, is because it didn't come out of
Right.
the regular festival.
Thinking ahead.
Volunteered their services.
Yeah.
So that fund is
This year, the
allocated.
trash is higher because this was the year that we ordered boxes. So next year, and maybe even in the year after, Andy,
Where's gonna be what?
next year we won't buy boxes, and even the following year, right?
We have boxes for 2 more years.
So
What we had and the order I placed was enough for 3 years. So, yeah,
porta pots, that price is good for 3 more years.
3 more years. 5-year contract.
Unless you have any questions, that's the news side.
So when's the party?
Well, Curtin's might have it's a party every day in here.
So our total revenue is the two figures, the 51,320 and the 22,563.58. Correct?
Yeah.
Total revenue. And
Yeah, but that includes carryover on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, on the bottom
it does.
when we started out with the 3,000.
Right, yeah, 3843.
But I'm gonna tell you, $18,720 to be raised by one person who has no marketing classes or degrees or anything like that is great. I mean, if you would hear her on the phone over there, I am so proud of her. She did that. I mean, I made a few calls and got shot down and said, Jennifer, call these people. I mean, that is phenomenal. I just think that she needs to, y'all need to know that.
That is huge. If you look at the
It was a team effort, believe me.
big picture.
Yeah, you and God.
Although I think I did put Terry Lee.
She's probably got a restraining order.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you check on her?
He sat next to me at lunch the other day. Yeah. Yeah, you need me to.
Don't bring up Jennifer Farley.
Yeah, you don't want me to?
She stalked that man.
Did he sponsor?
Finally, after the last message was like,
She got mad.
yeah, I was just like, you're missing out. I said, Honda's going to be here, Ford's going to be here, Chevy's going to be here, and you are really missing out, blah, 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 And then he called back and he did. So.
Oh, yay.
Carlo's got a great big banner up here.
Well, were there any problems that we need to discuss to possibly look at changing for next year?
We had just a few vendor issues. One food vendor, I don't think we'll invite him back. He's been here for years, but I think annually he's kind of had a few problems.
It's just every year. Before last, they had a gas leak. They had a 100-pound cylinder of gas leak, and a guy refused to come back, and we warned him then. Refused to come and deal with it. We warned him then, and then last year, they set up in the vendor booth next to it and wanted to argue with me if they weren't going to move. And I said, well, you're going to move or you're going to be gone. Same thing this year. I'm just tired of else can follow the rules but this guy. Just tired of it.
We had Malots come in, and they kind of complained about the vendors that are in front of their house, which is Annie Chin. She's been here for years, but she kind of wants a different spot anyway. So their complaint was it just took him too long to pack up on Sunday night. He goes to work like really early on Monday morning. He said it was just.
She's a spot on private property. She sells illegal stuff. We
I
can't
know,
be
we've
promoting
talked about it.
vendors
We've
selling
talked about that.
illegal stuff. I mean, she needs to be
So-
turned into excise is what needs to happen to her.
Do we need to revise the rules?
Oh, this is the counterfeit lady.
Yeah. She shouldn't be in a town spot. I mean, what she's doing is illegal.
No, her and her brother are the only two that we actually rent.
Are they the ones that got arrested
No,
for
We don't
counterfeit?
know.
no.
That was on the news?
That was on the news, yeah.
We don't know.
Oh, that one. I thought you meant.
Everybody's last name is Chin.
I know, so
It's
it's
just like-
Well, I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They had gotten arrested for counterfeit some
Right.
at festivals.
Yeah, that was the one out of Greenfield. They had the storage locker. Yeah, I don't think that was them.
No, Annie's from Chicago.
Yeah.
You want to know something interesting about those people, and Ryan probably already knows it, that I found this out from another vendor, that most of those Asian vendors are sent over here by the Chinese mafia. They like sponsor them and set them up in business, and then they're basically indentured to the mafia for like so many years, and then they get their freedom.
That sucks.
Pretty interesting.
Right here in Atlanta.
Wow.
So
But
is that
last
going to be
year-
something
well,
we're going to talk
yeah,
about,
I
or are
think-
we?
I think
What
last
person-
year we actually did put on there, they weren't allowed to sell, you know,
But we know they
counterfeit
are. We
items.
keep giving them.
I know it.
I mean.
She's been here for years, though. Annie.
Oh, okay. And plus, they're the ones that left the huge mess down by Russell and
That
one
was
in
the
the
girl.
park.
That was.
That was,
I know
yeah.
that was their booth, but that was Christy. What's her
But
name?
it don't matter. It was their
Right.
booth that they were subbing out to, which is prohibited.
Well, if I mean,
It's
if
like double
the
whammy.
if the council wants us to put that in the rules, we will, and we will just have to say, sorry, Annie, you're just going to have to find another spot. I mean, we're not in love with her.
You got a real nice grasp. Piece.
I mean,
Although she does say, Jennifer, Robin, I love
I
you.
love you. I make you deal.
Yeah.
The North Bay, Brian, arrest us.
They got illegal clothes and stuff they bought there. Better go over and check that tag.
Cut in half, that's how you know.
You look good in handcuffs, Jennifer. I can see him putting you in a striped suit. Are they still orange down the hem of the gun? They glow in the dark, so if you run it dark, they can still see
Yeah, we probably.
Yeah, we should.
well, what does it say already? It says something about
Well,
drug
well-
paraphernalia, illegal items, something, something. I mean,
How did we find
have
out that it's
counterfeit
actually
last year.
illegal or counterfeit? How did we find out that it's not legit?
you can look at it with your eyes.
You can tell by the labels.
When you're
I mean,
buying
hey,
Beats for
Let's say when
20
you're buying,
bucks.
yeah, when you're buying $300 headphones for $20, it ain't because you're getting a good deal.
Well, the flip side of that is then other people start complaining and saying, well, what about theirs? Is theirs legit? Who's gonna be the one that's gonna go out and
Well-
determine this, or
That's the thing.
that's,
They're all gonna, if we don't put them on town property, then they're gonna be on private property, and we can't control that. That's up to, it's Homeland Security, right? That's up to Homeland Security, whether or not they.
We did have an issue with,
I mean, we can have them come up here, but
We
They've
don't
been
wanna
before.
invite 'em.
you just have to tell me whether or not you really want that.
yeah, they came in through applications.
It's like
Yeah.
the Department of Revenue. We don't invite them. If they show up, they
Right.
show up.
I mean, they've called,
Right.
and if you tell me you want me to have them come, I'll have them come, but
We don't want this.
I don't wanna start having
No,
people,
it's not.
our festival
also-
police like that in that manner, and we're gonna
I mean,
lose people,
yeah.
and I mean, if somebody's doing something illegal and they get caught,
It's their
that's
fault.
their business, I think, and, I mean,
My only reason I'm
We
saying
have-
that is it's the same group that would inspect the activities over in that general direction. So
They've been
Really?
here-
you would
they've
get
been
one
here-
and you're going to get the other. So
They've been here before. It was 2 years ago they arrested someone.
I'll be happy to make the phone call. You just have to tell me that's what you want.
I spoke to this guy right here. He's from Illinois. He's an Indian guy, and really nice guy. He's selling perfume, and it's all legit stuff. And he says they're selling, 10 booths down, twice the quantity for half the price that I am.
But it's
It's
water.
fake,
But it's fake.
Yeah.
It's toilet
He's like,
water.
I can't, he said, I just can't compete with that. And he was, he did sell a lot, but he's like, that's ridiculous. And of course, he was on private property. He was on the south side of county, our side, obviously, but
He's over my dad's, wasn't
yeah.
he? Yeah.
I'm with Mr. Pfeiffer, though. I don't think we need to invite and start policing it like that.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I'm
I mean,
saying
we can control what we do on town.
when we know someone is doing something illegal, we shouldn't be renting them a town spot. I mean, we banned drug paraphernalia and everything else years ago. I mean, there's really no difference.
We can just take her off the mailing list.
Yeah.
Or
Her
even have the,
brother.
since she's been here for so long, we can,
Just let me know.
yeah.
We can do that. We had an issue with Bruce Rawlings over here, and they actually have been subletting their spot for quite a few years, probably about 10 years, and it just kind of got past us. So when I rented their spot, and
You should rephrase it. It ain't their spot. They shouldn't even have that spot.
The spot that
Well-
they've been subletting.
Right.
For the sake
Right,
of conversation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had an issue with that, but we ended up squeezing in a few more feet on the end to accommodate everybody. So it worked out okay, but next year we just won't.
Why don't you just give her the option to buy another spot then?
Yeah, but we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
keep our eye on.
Right, that's what I mean. I mean, she'll need to buy
Right.
another booth,
Oh,
basically.
yeah.
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 Where's that at, Maine and
Is that
Broadway?
Yeah, it's the calendar lady
on
that's been
Broadway.
here for years.
Oh,
Right there on the corner.
okay.
She's always had the first 3 booths. And
What had happened, she had been renting 2 booths
from
off the
town.
town. She'd been renting her 3rd booth from the homeowner.
Oh,
Which, but it was town property. It was the reserved space.
It was
for
their
them.
reserved
The
spot.
homeowner.
And our ordinance specifically says that you cannot sublet your spot.
right.
Well, the girls didn't know that. They didn't know that she was renting that 3rd spot. So when Jennifer rented out that spot,
Ah.
this lady comes to set up and there's someone in
I
her
see.
spot
Okay.
that she had rented from the property owner.
Now, are they entitled to a spot on Broadway since their house faces Main Street? And they gotta have a
That's
Main
my
Street
whole argument.
address, so
Well,
should
and I have
they?
called some of the homeowners and they didn't want theirs, so I would rent it out.
I mean, the whole-
you know.
No, but I mean,
No, the
in
whole-
that situation, her house and their address is
The
Main
whole
Street, but
reason-
we rent Broadway, and her house is
Right.
on the corner, so.
The only argument I could have with that is the festival stops at Broadway.
But here's my argument though. The whole reason for a homeowner spot is so they can have access to their driveway. And their driveway is on Main Street. Their whole yard is fenced on Broadway.
They also rent out their entire frontage of Main Street,
Yeah.
so it's not like they don't have space.
I mean, it's like Ron Majors. They don't.
They wanted
Ron
some
doesn't even.
room, they could-
Ron doesn't take his spot in front of his house. He parks in his other garage around there, and doesn't take.
But my question is, since their house sits on the corner,
Yeah.
they pay property taxes on Broadway for that part that faces Broadway plus Main Street since they're a corner lot. So should they be entitled to a spot
And, well,
like
we've
that?
always given
Because,
them
I
the
mean,
spot.
that's what, I know, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
that's
but
what-
I mean, being that they have an address on Main Street, is their booth space should be on Main Street, which we stop there, so that's basically they rent it out as a private space since we don't go beyond Broadway with the festival route. So really, they wouldn't be entitled to a booth space, and we could rent that out as a regular town space. The third
Which is
one
what
stays.
happened.
You know, see what I'm saying? I'm not objecting to it since they're a corner lot. I mean,
Yeah, but-
it's just a question in case someone else
I know,
on the
but
corner lot
majors-
asks the same thing.
Majors don't get one, the hotel don't get one. I mean,
They don't take it or they don't.
They
The
don't get-
hotel
you
gets
don't-
one on Broadway, but
but
not
you don't
Main.
get, you don't get two though.
No,
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And the reality is, they don't even use the spot.
Right.
Because it goes nowhere, they rent it out.
they used to use it to be an opening to their backyard, didn't they, when they rented their backyard out?
They planted all them trees and stuff, their whole
Right.
backyard's overgrown now, so they don't even put vendors in their backyard.
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm just asking clarification for
Right.
next year's benefit. I really don't care.
They get
Yeah.
one,
Get one on Broadway.
that's what they've got.
And was that the way we want to keep it so we know for next year? Or, I mean, I just want a clarification. So if this comes up next year, we've discussed it. And
I mean, I don't think they should. The whole purpose of the spot is to have access to your driveway. Their driveway's on Main Street.
Okay, every other property owner on Broadway gets a spot though.
Not,
Dixon's, their driveway's on Kaufman, or Walton. They get a spot. It's really, I was up, or Ramsey's, their neighbors too. I was always told that the purpose for them having a spot was because Broadway, or the festival is just a big old pain to a lot of people, and it's just a way that they can use that spot.
I always
So-
thought it was for access to your property.
Well, look how many people that get a spot that don't access their, have driveways. Then,
I guess. But
I
my
just thought
point,
it
my
was
point is,
for
all
courtesy
he's
for
gonna do
being
nothing with it. They
inconvenient for
can't-
the
Right.
festival is what I thought, because, they are a property owner and it's blocking off their property. I mean, they don't access their driveway because we shut the streets down. They can't get into that space anyway. So I just thought it was, we were giving them a boost space
because it's a
for
big
their,
old pain in the butt.
for their benefit in case they wanted to use it for something of their own or whatever.
I mean, look at
So
the
I-
Aggie. You really wanna have that battle? Aggie wouldn't have a spot, Neela wouldn't have a spot. I mean, how
I
many
think
people?
Neil's spot's a tree. You don't even use it. We don't rent it out because it's a tree. There's a tree there, so that was a mute point. Neila
Dials?
takes one for the
More-
business. They sell
more-
stuff out of their spot.
But they're pretty much the only house that faces Main Street address, but yet
Right.
they get the spot on Broadway that's in the whole festival. The church. The church faces Main Street and then do they get one too?
Church gets about 10.
Well, I can understand that being a church.
Yeah, I mean, they get that
That's
whole-
kind of a special exception.
They get that whole
Corner
road.
rule. I mean, I'm talking about residential properties, basically referring to them as far as any of them facing that other street, sitting on a corner lot and facing the other street.
That's really a
It's pretty about the only
special
one on there, isn't it?
circumstance.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The group home, they don't get a spot. And they're on Broadway, or they're on corner.
Yeah, they're on both corners. So they face, because we go down Meridian and Broadway, so they're
We
basically
don't
on
go on
corner.
Meridian.
No, we don't go down Meridian.
Okay.
But we go, the group
Past
home doesn't
Broadway.
get a spot on their Broadway side.
They just don't want one, correct?
They've just never gotten one, and neither have the people in Myrtle Jane's house either.
Okay.
So I suppose it would be, I don't think it'll be that big of an issue if we just tell Alling, you don't get it anymore.
Or if they want it, it's not to rent out.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, if they want it,
And
Well-
I have called some of the homeowners and said, are you gonna use your spot? And they would say no, so then I rented it out, that's how I handled a few of them.
It'd be better if we decided whether they get the spot or not, so that we can go ahead and plan on renting it. If you think they'll have an issue if we tell them that they don't get that,
no, we already did it this year.
and they didn't.
I really don't think they will, I think. Even if they
That's
did,
how it got. That's
They
how it
didn't
got.
say
That's
anything about
that's
it.
how it got
Yeah.
exposed this year. Is the town rented the spot out, and that's how we found out they've been subletting it. So they didn't have it this year. That's kind of how it all came out.
If we want, since it was brought to our attention, it was corrected at this year, and we rented out, and they didn't seem to have a problem. We can move forward
Well,
with that.
the
renting
woman
it
can
out as a
still
town
rent the spot from the
and then-
town.
Well, I'm saying, we need to determine that
Yeah.
though, besides, so we don't rent it, and then they
Then
try to
they're
rent it
not
too, and
right.
it's another fiasco. That's why I'm trying to get clarified here. Do we wanna move forward
guess
with
we
us
asked
town,
them,
as town lot?
do
or
you
town spot?
want your spot?
for them personally and not sublet. They can.
I'll
and
send
let
them a
them-
letter if you want and tell them since they're on Main, they don't get a spot.
Yeah, there you go.
If you
I
want.
think that's,
The group home doesn't get a spot.
People
Well,
on Main
the
Street.
group
Yeah.
home would be a good example because
Yeah,
they face.
and the people in Myrtle Jane's house, they don't get a spot, so.
Any of the ones that are
In
on,
their driveway.
on that
There
part
is
where
on
the
Broadway.
festival
They
is, that
don't,
would
do
make
they block their
sense.
driveway?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, they should have access to their garage.
Why did we do that, I wonder?
You sure there's not an R there? Look on your map.
But the group home would be an example.
That'd be example, same as hers, so we could tell them that is a town lot and they ain't gonna be getting it. And
Because
that
they
we'd
still have access to their property on Main Street.
right,
Right.
and they can
And I-
rent
we probably
boost
ought to
to
do that,
everybody on Main
since the
Street
group
if they
home is
wanna
another
rent
one
to
that is in a
somebody.
similar situation, they face Meridian and they don't get one.
That way, I mean, because they're not gonna use it for themselves anyway, that way
We
they
do
don't
block,
even try
we do
to
block
rent it.
Myrtle James.
We do?
There's not an R in
That's probably from when she still lived there, 'cause she didn't use it.
One like the
probably how
hotel
that
makes
happened.
sense for them to have one because they're blocked front and side. They've got no access to their property. So like one like that makes a lot of sense.
Well, and it's
But-
better for us to give the hotel theirs on Broadway Street than Main Street anyway.
Let's just do that and that's my recommendation then in that way.
How many is the church? Is it 8 spots or is it 9? I can't remember. Is it 8 spots?
Eight.
Yeah, I knew it was a bunch.
Other than, let's see, other than that, I think the public awareness area, people really liked it, moved down here on Main Street. I think that worked out really good.
Did you hear anything about that? Did you hear
Except
from the Sheriff's
Dougie.
Association or anything? They
Yeah.
like it?
Yeah, but we had to staff it. But yeah, it was.
Everybody we talked to seemed to really like it down there, but I think Angie liked it.
Yeah,
didn't
Angie
she?
liked it down there. Please leave the library more space to get into their book sale instead of the small, I mean, the
they
walkway,
had
the
little-
width of the walkway into there was a bone of contention.
Okay.
It's only been that way for.
Yeah, last
It's
year.
only been that way
last
for
year,
10 or 12 years.
Last year they had that full stretch open, but other than that, every year previous has been.
Just a small one.
Yeah.
Well,
Full of booths.
there was a big bone chewed
Yeah.
of contention chewed on that. But it worked out because the one on the other side of Angie, and had we really thought about it, we could have moved her down a little bit because there was one empty between her and the Hart booth. And so people were kind of making use of that to get in there instead of, but her signage and that sign, the sign, the
The library's gigantic sandwich board
Yeah.
could have been an issue if we wanted to make it.
right, exactly, that too. But I'm just saying there was a bone
She's
chewed
not
over
saying
that.
that, it's Roberta.
I guess here's what I don't understand. I mean, that's fine, but why haven't they said anything for the last 10 years?
Because there's a new person involved now.
Okay.
That's my theory.
I mean, you just,
Sorry, Pam.
just make it a full-size booth. I mean, just make it a full-size booth.
Up the walkway there.
Yeah.
We can do
Yeah, just
that.
make it a full-size booth.
Sure.
Because we had to measure
Yeah.
everything down there anyway because it's 10.
Yeah,
10
but
foot, so
next
that-
year there'll be a different bone, but I'm saying, you know,
Well, we kind of got
Everybody has
into,
to.
not got into it, but Stoops's, they, you know, every year they've changed which spot that they want. And Robin and I finally wrote it down one year because I'd rent a spot out and they'd say, no, we wanted the other spot. So we finally wrote it down, but then we measured all this out and then they got real upset because they wanted the middle spot. So I said, okay, I told them. That's it. I said, this is it. I said, you get the middle spot and that's it. So, no more playing around with them. So,
Yeah, he had some kind of mental breakdown and
Better watch
beat
it
his
if you
truck,
beat
beat
the
his truck to
truck
death, and
next.
his wrist was all swollen up, and his hand was all bleeding.
Hands are bleeding.
really?
Dougie.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was nuts.
Oh my.
He
He
came
came
up.
flying up here. We had just clocked out and we're outside that Thursday. And hopped out,
This
just
struck,
happened
yelling and
recently?
Screaming. No,
Festival.
it was
Festival.
during the
Thursday before festival.
Thursday night.
Yeah, because the vendors were setting up early for the Fox
Yeah,
59
yeah.
for the Fox 59 thing.
Oh my.
He
speaking of
basically
that,
he said the trailer was blocking his drive and it wasn't even. But
It wasn't even my drive.
yeah.
Speaking of that, what about the food vendors? We brought them in on Thursday. Because of that, did you guys like that, or would you rather go back to Fridays?
I don't know, I guess it would be what everybody thinks. I mean, it makes it easier, but
Does it interfere with any of the businesses or anything? Or did you have any complaints from the local businesses that they were setting up early?
we only have one left, unfortunately.
Well, that's the one I don't want to hear from either. So, you know how that
And of
goes.
course, she got some airtime out of it. too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
was,
did.
I don't
She was
know.
on the news too.
Yeah, I don't know if she would like it if she didn't, if they weren't coming.
Well, but it's not really in front of her business.
I don't know if
either.
that, I mean, it could potentially could be a can of worms, unless we told them you absolutely have to set up on Thursdays. Because if they can't and they wanna come in and set up on Friday, well, I suppose they still could, but it could just still be the first setup.
Cause what was it, 8 to 11? Or we did 11 to 1.
10 to 11 to 2
1, 11,
for food vendors.
11 to 2. You could move it up. You could say 8 to noon or something. 8 to 1. Doesn't matter.
Do you just want us to leave that to our discretion as we
It doesn't really matter.
ponder it?
Yeah.
Then we opened up the 900 block for like an overflow thing, but we just didn't think it worked out. I mean, we tried to, a lot of people come in at the last minute wanting spots and stuff. And the one vendor I seen down there, they actually had their bus parked clear into, did you see it, Marie?
Finals.
Yes!
I noticed that
And I thought,
after,
where in
like,
the world did that come from?
Well into the festival. I
Yeah.
noticed it.
Yeah, but we thought about maybe cutting that off, just letting people know, hey, we have no more spots, and maybe looking at doing a car show down in that area or something. Maybe something we could kind of toss around. But as far as having an overflow block, I think maybe we should just cut it off.
Yeah.
Unless you guys.
Tend to agree with that.
It was a little scraggly down there.
Unless your numbers are just, way up.
But you had enough to fill the whole block.
Yeah.
Right. Farmers market, they loved it. Gatewoods.
They were in that block.
No, they were in
They
front
were.
of the front of
They
Aggies.
actually
That's
loved
what I
it.
thought.
They really did really well.
So you're talking about stopping at Aggies and doing away with that
Yeah, not
south block.
But
Yeah.
trying to get a car.
Just
show.
not full.
maybe a
It's
car
only,
show or something.
it's only a few. Was there like 8 vendors, 10 at the most?
I seen that, and then what's his name was trying to park cars in his yard there, and the barricades was down at the corner,
Bob.
and he was trying. Yeah, and he was trying to get him up halfway into the block
Yeah,
to park in
they
his
ended
yard.
up in there, the barricade.
That's
Did they
what
move
that
the
was
barricade
the-
halfway down the block?
We had a little trouble with that.
Did you?
Just because there wasn't enough stuff down there. So they kept moving the barricades, and finally we just stopped fighting it. And we just said, we just don't want you to go past this point. I mean, we could tell what they were trying to do. I mean, it is what it is.
I couldn't believe, Ryan, the people that moved the barricades
Yeah.
at our house.
It was a big. It was, yeah.
I could not believe that. I would, was in the house there outside or whatever. People have no respect whatsoever.
we should
do-
It's just
we
like
could
they
get
just moved them, and it was
we could
like,
get a little
I'm like,
sign
where are
made.
they going?
We can get a little sign like they did in Westfield. And it could say, "It's free to leave this barricade alone. It's $187.50 to move it." Did you ever see those signs in Westfield? It says it's free. It says it's free to stop, and it's like, and it said
Rolling
it's,
stop.
but instead it's $187.50 not to stop. They've got those on their stop signs in Westfield and different places.
Fishers does too,
Or it's like
maybe
complete,
tracks.
and they said something that said complete stops are free, rolling stops are $187.50.
Yeah, we had a lot of problems with people moving barricades. That wasn't a lot of problems, but it was just all day long.
constant.
They were just constant, and truthfully, there was a lot of vendors, and they're because they sneak around and they get in these alleys, so that they can get closer to unload their tchotchkes when they sell out. And again, I totally get what they're doing. It's just unfortunately they don't put the barricades back, and then it's just we're just used to it.
Man, what do you think when that big old bus pulled back? We had no idea that
Yeah.
band was coming in that bus.
Yeah,
I thought, how in the world?
I don't remember which band it was right now, but
Secondhand
Secondhand
smoke.
smoke.
Secondhand Smoke, yeah, they came in and they stopped one of the guys out because we were directing traffic on 19 at that point, and so they said, "Just stop, don't go, just stop until we can clear it out for you." Thank God. So we were able to clear enough of a path out, and then the fire guys were good about it. I mean,
Yeah.
they could have been jerks, but they were good. So we just backed them on the fire department property, which was fine. I mean, it's a couple hours, no big deal. But it's really cluttered, that area. It's really cluttered with nonsense. So I don't know if we can, maybe next year.
What, the stage area or
Yeah.
the fire department area?
Yeah, the fire department's not bad. The stage area, there's
Getting
just
the vans in and out, you mean?
yeah, there's not some. I don't know how we can organize the parking of it, but there's no real organization to it. So like when they show up, there's just literally nowhere to put them, and you almost need a little bit of a gap. Like one band leaves and then another band comes in. We're right now they're kind of overlapping, and it's in that overlap period where there's just not a lot of room. So we kind of parked them. We were parking them on the south side of the water tower fence. That's kind of where we were like, hey, just park here, and then once everybody leaves, then you can move your trucks and stuff a little closer. Well, they were some of them got upset because they had to carry their stuff all the way down the alley.
Well, they didn't follow directions.
75 feet.
They
Well,
didn't.
I get it,
the
but they're just.
we had them parking, we told them to unload and then go park,
Well-
and then that's when they all just
Stayed.
Yeah,
Part
they
of the-
stayed.
Part of the problem is that it's not just
But I
one or two
noticed that.
vehicles. Some of these vans come and everybody drives their own vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's like 5.
So you've got 5
Yeah.
or 6 cars in there
Yeah.
when you should have 1 or 2, or a truck and a trailer or whatever,
And that's what I was saying.
Or
It's
Chandler.
in that.
Or
It's
that-
in that when one band's going off and another one's coming in, we run out of green space to put them.
Okay, that's something you can address
Maybe
with
we'll just have
scheduling.
to tell them they have to unload and go park.
Yeah. 'Cause everybody just wants to.
Or
unload
limit the
their
number of
vehicles.
vehicles they can bring. Say you're allowed, X number of vehicles in, that's it. Say we'll park you down here for free, and you'll be hoofing it,
There's a lot of room over there. There's
Okay.
everything else going on.
How did it go with Linda? The area across north of county line, how did it go? Any problems?
Other than the people dragging their trash over there,
They
nothing.
still did that?
Well, Andy had an idea for next year, because we have festival business cards. And Frawley went and asked some of those vendors
yeah.
how much they were charging. Ryan told me
They're
this.
paying $250 a spot. We're selling for
And
$140.
the food,
No
they're
kidding?
just charging more
Food-
for the food.
Yeah.
So Andy had an idea, we make our festival business cards, on the backside, we put our booth prices on there.
Right.
And just take them over and hand them out to their vendors.
There you go.
That's funny because that's
It'd be a nice idea to even go to other festivals and
Oh,
hand
yeah.
out to
Yeah.
other vendors that,
I did
Yeah.
some of that last year.
stack of them.
I got some people.
You know,
last year.
she figured she's making about 20 grand over there every year.
The
Yeah, there was
IRS,
se- there was
the
70
IRS know about that
Oh,
income?
I doubt it.
72 was,
'Cause it's
I think
cash.
72
Well-
booth spaces at 250
it's under
bucks a
the
whack.
table.
And the food vendors are more.
Yeah, food in corners.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's why she's so against it,
And
because
he counted it, wasn't it like 75 booths over
I thought
there?
he said 72 plus food.
She said she had 72 on the.
But the
what
thing
she
of it
describes
is,
as two
here-
parcels.
here's why once I found that out, here's why she's so paranoid. She's either going to have to eat $4,000 of her own money, paying for permits, because if those people find out they're paying $300 and they can get at the same spot here for $140, she's out of business. I mean, if we were to get control over there and them have to buy permits, she'd be done.
So we might have to tough it out for one more year.
I mean, she'd be done for. Why would you not come over here for half the price?
Yeah, we
Less
did
than
get
half.
some cards made.
Well, I think it's very clear in my conversations with the sheriff. I mean, he I think has a much better appreciation now of what's going on.
Yeah,
Sure.
So I think you have an ally there. I mean, as far as that he understands the full complexity of the problem. They were here both days, all day long, all night. You know, the majority, I don't want to say majority, a lot of what we deal with, truthfully, is their stuff. I mean, it's spillover from them. So I think he has a much better understanding of that now, better than what he did before. Do I think that there's going to be any change? No, because I mean it's above him at this point. So unless he You know, unless he really starts stoking that fire. But the other, the other three just have made it very clear that they have no interest at this point.
Shoot, she probably has more booths than the Pork Fest.
She's probably close.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Seriously?
She's probably really close.
Yeah.
Largest festival in Tipton County.
Go over and tell her that she can start advertising that way.
Yeah. But it's very full all the way across county line. I mean, almost all the way to Oklahoma Street on the north side. Virtually every yard, even yards that didn't have them in the past,
They
had
were,
them this year.
they were even sitting up at Blacksmith's shop and everywhere else
Yeah.
out there this year.
Yeah.
It was booths all over that north side,
Yeah,
all the way.
out to Whistler Road.
I had a lady call me looking for a vendor, and she said it was on the main part of the festival, and I said, well, you're gonna have to, help me out a little bit more. Well, she started describing it. She was describing. She came in on county line. She's like, right where it's where you come in, where that subdivision is, and she thought. I was like, that's not even part of the festival.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's how it's migrated.
I mean, they
You
were
can see it.
Yeah, they were literally there were booths set up at Whistler Road to the east,
Holy cow, that's just
literally
wow.
all the way to Whistler Road.
That's where you get the guys in there to check to see if they're illegal.
There's a lot even down Central Street. I noticed too that people having yards, rummage sale type thing and stuff. And that farm field right there at the end of Main Street. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That grass strip there. There was somebody
she had
set up.
a yard sale.
That whole strip.
That whole strip was set up with tables and stuff. And
Okay, so we'll get business cards made.
I got feedback from one of the sponsors, and I don't really care if they come back or not because they left early. But it was whoever it was, Dish Network or DirecTV, one of the two.
He come in at the very last.
They're
minute.
always flaky.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was kind of unhappy with the volume level, saying he couldn't talk to anybody to sell. And I don't know if any of the others felt the same way or not.
Well, I called several of the sponsors, and I did not get one of those complaints this year. So,
I will say
it
was adjusted hot this year.
Well, and
we
I will
needed
say
to
one of the
address that
bands,
issue.
said that he even felt like it could be turned down a little bit.
Well, the guy from Sunday Morning from Northview says he's got an awesome sound guy who's got every piece of equipment. So if we could find a different stage, I want to get rid of this guy. He was late both days.
He gets worse
He
every
set
They
it up.
loved. I mean, every band
We
that we
talked
called,
to, because we talked to our bands to say what was
Yeah,
the
trying to,
deal.
you.
They loved him.
they
loved
like
him.
Paul.
Well, he's a likable guy.
And
No, they like the way he runs the stage,
Yeah.
and they had no issues with him.
This year?
Yeah.
They had no
Except
issues.
for the- except for the
I am
band.
not done talking. They had no issues with him and the iPad. They knew that it was a new way to do it, and that he's working with it, and that next year it'll be better.
I want the volume turned up because I can just hear it on my porch, but I'd like to hear it a little better.
a little better.
Well,
I want it turned up.
Put some speakers up on the water tower.
Speaker.
Yeah.
I've been around a lot of that kind of stuff, and he
They
did
got
not
some
have
good
the
bands
same
over there.
thing.
That's
Even
good
if you were fine with the volume,
Well, I
his
called-
mix was not right on anything. That's a lot of money to spend for
band
somebody who's
even-
late
okay.
every single day that they're supposed to be here too, and they're setting up while people are performing and walking in front of the stage back and forth.
There
and
were a few
front of them
disappointments
performing.
with Paul. We know
There were,
that.
yeah.
Some.
We were ready to
It's
totally.
like the whole thing was
We
like,
were
didn't
ready to
put up the
totally
banners,
axe
didn't
him
do
until
anything.
our bands started
Yes.
singing their praises.
Yeah.
Secondhand Smoke, I mean, they do Nashville. They were so impressed with him.
They love
I
the
mean-
stage. That's what they said. They
Okay, but
So-
that's not the only stage like that around. I mean,
but he's been here for years.
I'm saying
Well,
we're
he
spending
better-
a lot of money for somebody
He
that's
better be.
late.
He better be
Doesn't
shaving
have
up
his sound adjusted right.
because
And-
every year he keeps going
Yeah.
down. down,
Well,
down,
I know
down.
Paul there, and then he did not find the banners for the stage until when was that? Sunday.
Even though we told him where they were.
I know, yeah. But Roddy Bush didn't care. I mean, he wasn't. upset about that or anything.
I don't mind shopping around for another
Yeah.
stage guy. I mean, we don't have
I
an
mean,
issue.
do we have somebody who can put some pressure on Noblesville Parks? Because from what I hear, they've got a couple of them.
They do. If you-
Here's the thing though,
Talk to our incoming
we need a
council
cam
member.
stage that is like fire marshal approved where somebody else deals with it because we're not state fair.
I mean, I even know people that have a mobile stage that you build, you know, it's just in different carts and, you know, those stage boxes, they bring them out, they open them up and it sets all up and it's got the
Well, it
towers
still
for
needs to be Indiana
TVs and speakers
approved
and
because of
everything
the collapsed stage at the fairgrounds.
I guarantee it is. It's a real stage. It's not some homemade thing. They use it to form all around it. Big events.
I was disappointed in Jeremy Morris because he was supposed to give us 2 hours, and their band, they forgot their bass, so they had to go clear back to Carmel.
So that's a
to get the
delay.
bass.
But there were other delays with Paul as well.
We know.
Between,
But I
like,
mean,
the timeline got screwed up the entire day.
We'll shop stages. We'll shop stages.
I just don't want it to become a fixture by default if there's something better out there. We don't need to ignore the issues we've had with them at
We'll
all.
shop stages. I'm not trying to cut you off, Marie. We got other stuff we gotta talk about too in only 15 minutes. We got left.
Radabush, we had a meeting with them today. They actually want to come back and they want to be not just the sponsor of the stage, but they want to sponsor the festival. They want to try and figure out how they can be, you know, it can be the Atlanta New Earth Festival sponsored by Radabush Equipment. They just don't want to be.
They can pay for porta pots, they can
They-
pay for,
Their-
Their budget is
trash,
not
they
quite
can
as-
pay
Quite that
for,
much.
Their budget isn't quite that much.
But
But
can
they
build
are
more.
willing to offset a lot of things by providing tractors for, like, if the youth league wants to do a shuttle and provide their own banners and other things like that. So we're still negotiating that.
Can they go up some from what they paid this year? I'm assuming.
Yes.
The Tish, yeah.
He said he had a lot of interest when I talked to him, so I'm assuming they've sold a couple tractors out of the deal.
And they want a relationship, and we do too. We don't want to be shopping a title sponsor every year, and they want a long term. So we'll be putting something together.
We also talked about, today we talked about the vendors that apply for the festival, maybe offering them some advertising for an extra fee. Then we could put them on maybe like our maps, our flyers or whatever.
Yeah,
So
if they want us to
if
advertise.
they want us to advertise for them.
And Brian is gonna work on, I don't even know what he called
I
it.
don't either.
An interactive map.
An interactive
Oh.
map where people, cause he said people were constantly asking them, where is so-and-so?
exactly,
That-
that was on my radar too,
So,
how
I
can
mean,
we get a
That would cost a
database?
lot of money to hire somebody to do that, but if he's willing to do something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that,
Yeah,
you know, in trade for part of the sponsorship fee, then.
That'd be pretty cool. I think it worked out pretty well having bathrooms up here. I don't know that, they seemed like they got a lot of use.
Did you wanna talk about your parking lot idea? Hmm?
I said, what one? I don't know what you're talking about.
Wonderful.
Well, I said, if you want to have a carnival back here's the only place you could do it. It's the only real estate we got big enough. Because really, if you look at it back here, we're not even parking cars back here anymore.
So none of the residents that we give permits to park back here
Not many.
don't park in it?
All 2 of them, 3 of them. I mean, seriously, it's like 3 cars. I'm not even kidding you. Nobody even parks back here
I
anymore.
don't even know how you would get here.
Huh?
I don't know how you would get here.
Down
To
that
park.
alley. Down that alley, the county line's about the only way.
The only people, really, the only people that park back here are the apartment people who park in their grass backyard.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, during the festival,
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
closed off. So.
I just don't even know how you would honestly get here.
We're just thinking of ways to draw people's attention this way.
Well, you know, a carnival I think would be great. You go up to Pork Festival here in the last several years, you see the kids and the parents taking their kids over to Carnival, and that's about the most activity you see up there.
Carnival
Other people,
food, yeah.
people up there to eat, and they take the kids across the street to Carnival. I think that'd be a great idea. I've had, the kids, when they had that bounce place and all that stuff down at the park, they loved it. Yeah, I mean, and it gives the kids, a lot of the kids come with their parents because they make them, and the kids ain't got no interest in this, and they're drugged around because the parents want to look at the booths and stuff, and
Right.
this way the kids get a little entertainment and get something out of it too, and then,
The bigger kids, older kids, because the bounce houses are really geared
For
towards
the little kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
We can shop at carnivals then if you guys are okay with it.
great.
We were real disappointed in Hank FM. Because their definition of live broadcast and ours was totally different.
Even when we told her,
Yes. We went back
when
on
we met
emails,
with her in
yes.
person.
Their definition of live broadcast is pre-recorded.
it's pre-recorded live broadcast, yeah.
Yep, that's.
And to
that's
have
what
their
it was.
DJ, their radio personality on site. Yeah, it was a big old disappointment.
So WFMS was really interested last year, so maybe we'll go with them this year.
There's more than just country stations around here, just so you know.
Let's get Bob and Tom up here.
I know, we've
We're gonna have to up those sponsorships. We'll price DPL again, but I think they were out of the ballpark
Yeah.
last year, so the country stations are more.
Down to earth.
Anything else?
I had several people comment on the hours of the festival. I had a lot of people interested in having it later because they get up here, the nice weather, and some of them don't get off. Some of them work Saturdays or whatever, and they want to come up and see the festival, go through it. And by the time they get here, it's closing down. And I've had a lot of requests to extend the hours.
What time does it get dark?
And it just varies on about days. And I've had a lot of people request that. I've had comment from vendors too, wanting to know why we shut down at 6 o'clock whenever it's nice and everybody's having a good day, and then all of a sudden they got to close because the hours are set. And I said, well, I will find out. I'll bring it up, and we can discuss that.
And the band
But,
plays till what?
We could go to
7?
8 on Saturday and 6 or 7 on Sunday? Take my
I would
day off.
say I would say 8 on Saturday and keep
could
the
keep
same
it-
hours on
keep it,
Sunday
yeah.
because Sunday's not
6.
a real big.
Well, what's it, 5 on Sunday right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could go to 6 if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't go
You
much
got the
like
tear
that.
down involved on Sunday,
Yeah.
and that really,
They probably want to get out of here.
So 9 to 8 on Saturday, and
Plus cleanup.
we'd have to bring the trash truck in later on Saturday.
7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it's all the same. Trash is still there no matter what time you go to get it.
Everybody's running on fumes the whole weekend anyway, so 9 to 8 on Saturday, 9 to 5 Sunday.
Wait, if you get sprayed
Is it
again,
5
it'd
Sunday?
be so dark you won't know what it is.
Okay.
sure is.
Yeah,
I was
but
thinking it was
normally
6.
they're
I've been
breaking
telling
down.
everybody it's 6 o'clock both days.
6 on Saturday.
No wonder everybody's mad at me when they come up here and everything's closed.
Yeah,
I paid for parking, walked uptown, there wasn't anything going on. Oh, they must have left early.
A lot of times they're shutting down early on Sundays because of the weather and stuff.
Yeah, if the weather's bad or if business is slow, a lot
They
of
start
them
breaking
close
down
at
on
night.
them.
Yeah, Sunday's one of them, it's questionable. I mean, it's kind of a slow day in the morning because a lot of people going to church, and then when they get out of church, it's 1, 2 o'clock, depending on how far they travel, and then they get here. It's kind of a short day to be going to the festival when it closes early, but.
that's all we got right now.
I think so.
What do I hear, a motion that we adjourn the festival meeting?
A motion we adjourn the festival meeting.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Good job, ladies.